From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
Tourism business owners in Boseman say city leaders are failing to do their jobs. In a letter Tuesday, the Gallatin Valley Tourism Business Improvement District says local elected officials need to do their jobs and take a strong stand against urban camping or resign. What else is being said? That's coming up.
I'm Jonathan Amberian in Helena. Candidates are already reporting millions of dollars raised in the race for Montana's U.S. Senate seat. I'll have a closer look at the numbers so far.
I'll tell you how some complaints from the public resulted in changes to historic preservation work at this spot in Uptown Butte.
After several months of renovations, the Boseman Swim Center is back open again. I'm Jolie Slee, and I'll tell you all about this renovation project, the upgrades, and why folks are excited to make a splash again.
Oh, that's at least a 10, yeah. I would say, on my rating. He had the run, he had the height, and he had the splash.
The splash was there too.
Yep, and he had the whistle to blow him off too.
Right.
So it was fantastic. That's gonna be an exciting thing. Nice to see the pool back open. Drive by it enough.
Yeah,
nice to see the
that's
construction all wrapped up.
Mother Nature is trying to give us a little extra water as well, so there's always that. Right now, most of our temperatures holding into the low to mid 40s to start the morning. A jacket, a rain jacket, probably your best idea for today. It's not going to be inundated with rain all day long, but we will see spotty showers, especially as you get through the morning and again late afternoon and evening. That's when we'll see these showers trying to fire back off across the area. If you're planning your day today, it looks like our daytime high should be right into the low 50s for most of the area. Again, spotty showers expected throughout the day, including some high mountain snow as we head toward the evening. We're going to talk more in depth about the timing and what to expect in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you very much, Matt. Now our top story this half hour, tourism businesses are calling on Boseman city leaders to enforce current laws for urban campers or step down. The Boseman district of the Gallatin Valley Tourism Business Improvement District, or TBID, says that if the city commission, city manager, city attorney refuse to enforce current laws to limit urban camping, those local politicians should resign. TBID has previously committed $1 million to build a new shelter that would be open 24/7, 365 days a year. The TBID board says the city's elected officials are failing to protect the health and safety of Boseman residents. The board says the city has laws in place to address parking and camping related issues and opposes any new ordinance. In a letter to the city, the TBID CEO says current laws that need to be enforced include drug use in public, public intoxication, public urination, theft of electricity and water from private businesses, littering, disorderly conduct, trespassing on private property, and more.
If we don't have leaders that are willing to take that stand to protect, which cities normally the number one thing they are, is public health, public safety for the citizens that live there. If they're not willing to step forward and to make the hard vote, which is very hard to do because this situation isn't an easy thing to deal with, then we need proper leadership that would be in place to make those hard decisions to protect the safety of the citizens of Boseman, Montana.
The letter was submitted to the city yesterday, and in a separate letter, the Chamber of Commerce voted to also enforce those same laws if those laws do not ensure public safety. The Chamber is asking that the city to adopt the original ordinance that limits urban camping to 5 days in one place. Now, we reached out to Deputy Mayor Terry Cunningham, and he says, quote, the city is committed to addressing public safety issues and is in the process of creating an ordinance that clarifies the responsibilities of anyone occupying the public right-of-way. Now, you can read more of Cunningham's response over on our website, but first, the cause of death for an inmate who died in June at the Butte Silverbow Detention Center has been released by the Lewis and Clark County Sheriff Coroner's Office. According to Captain Kevin Wright, inmate Thomas McGovern was found dead in his cell at 2:28 in the morning on July 1st. The 43-year-old man was booked into the jail on June 30th in connection with a parole violation and incest investigation. The Montana Crime Lab in Missoula determined that McGovern died from acute opioid and heroin intoxication. Captain Kevin Wright says the investigation is ongoing. And U.S. Senator Jon Tester and Republican candidate Tim Sheehy are reporting their latest fundraising totals in the race for a Montana U.S. Senate seat. It's one of the most watched campaigns in the country and likely to be one of the most expensive in Montana's history. MTN senior political reporter Jonathan Amberian takes a look at just how much money is already being collected.
Montana saw more than $100 million in spending during the 2020 U.S. Senate race. And with more than a year to go until the 2024 election, we're on track for another campaign with huge amounts of money raised. September 30th marked the end of the third quarter of the year. It's the first fundraising milestone for Gallatin County businessman Tim Sheehy, seeking the Republican nomination for Senate. On Tuesday, Sheehy's campaign announced he raised more than $2.8 million over 3 months. $2.2 million of that came from donors, and $650,000 from his own personal contributions and loans. At the end of the quarter, the campaign reported having just over $1 million in cash on hand. Also on Tuesday, Democratic Senator Jon Tester's campaign said it raised more than $5 million in the third quarter. That follows another $5 million each of the previous 2 quarters. Tester's campaign reports it had more than $13 million on hand at the start of this month. There's still speculation Congressman Matt Rosendale may join the Republican race for Senate, but for now he's filing campaign paperwork for his House seat. His latest quarterly report wasn't available yet on Tuesday. As of July, his House campaign account had just over $1.5 million in cash on hand. Full financial reports for federal candidates will be due October 15th. They'll provide more details about the candidates' fundraising and spending. In Helena, Jonathan Amberian, MTN News.
Thank you very much, Jonathan. And people are making a splash at the Boseman Swim Center now that it's back open. But MTN's Jolie Salee tells us the center will be closing up shop again. She explains that's because phase 2 of construction is due to start up.
It's always a disappointment when it closes. Megan Maker and her kids are thrilled that the Boseman Swim Center finally opened back up in September. I come here at least twice a week because she trains for triathlons. Just love the reliability of an indoor pool, and the 50-meter distance or the length of the pool is really awesome for triathlon training. While she gets some good training in, her sons Caleb and Isaac, they come to play around and get a good splash in. What is your favorite thing about coming to the pool?
The basketball hoops, for sure.
But the Makers' fun came to an end last winter when phase 1 of construction began at the swim center that was built back in 1974. According to the city, it was time for a makeover. Phase 1 focused on repairing the building's structure, the pool shell, lighting, the HVAC system, and more. The exterior obviously is looking a lot better these days. But next spring, phase 2 begins, which will rehab the entire swimming pool, the tile flooring and ceilings. Just some updates in there. They feel a little grungy at this point. The entire project comes in at a little over $5.7 million. Phase 2 is expected to take even longer than phase 1 according to the city, which doesn't sound very good for the Makers. But in the meantime, well, they still have a chance to enjoy the water. I would love to see some more flexible hours. Right now, they're pretty blocked into specific times that make it a little hard to work with when you have kids to drop off at school. In Boseman, Jolie Salee, MTN News.
Thank you very much, Jolie. Now over in the mining city, some people in Butte did not like the restoration work going on at Butte's historic Leonard Field on the campus of Montana Tech. MTN's John Amy tells us the university heard those complaints and is doing something about it.
Back in August, many Butte residents were upset that the repair work done at the wall at Leonard Field was not historically accurate. Well, officials at Montana Tech heard these complaints and are now re-repairing the wall with its original rock to maintain its historic authenticity.
We were putting in a retaining wall, which that was the most inexpensive remedy to the wall, and we heard some complaints, and I understood.
The contractor, Profit Masonry, also heard grumblings and approached the Butte University with a plan to do away with the retaining wall and use the original rocks with fresh mortar. Cook said he was happy to change the project. Leonard Field was built in 1931 and served as Tech's football field and for other athletic events.
Obviously, we're a historical city, and we're proud of the fact that of our history here at Montana Tech as well.
The university wanted to act quickly earlier this summer to fix the wall out of concern the original wall was in a critical state of disrepair.
Because one of the concerns we had is with the decaying that we would, have to close down part of the space. And obviously this field is not only provides play space for our students, but there are a lot of activities that happen here for our community.
Mike Judd likes to play fetch with his dog at Leonard Field and is happy to see the wall returning to its original look.
I think it looks great. I'm really glad they kept it, back to the historic value of the wall, because that's an amazing history of that wall when it was first built.
In Butte, John Amy, MTN News.
Thank you very much, John. Now, we're going to take a short break here on Montana This Morning, but when we come back, whether you're getting a jump on your holiday shopping or simply taking advantage of some big online sales, be aware of what you're clicking.
I'm John Matarese. Online shopping season is now kicking into full gear. Unfortunately, tech scams are kicking into gear too. How to know the warning signs of a scam? Coming up.